Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at how to insert images and shapes into your Excel document. Now this might be useful if you say want to put your logo into your worksheet or potentially put a banner at the top of a page, or insert shapes to use as buttons. Now this might be useful where you want to have that linking so that it goes to a website or a particular tab in your worksheet. That's a topic that we'll look at more in a later video. So to insert an image or a shape, we come to our Insert tab. And it's in this illustrations box, we have options for inserting pictures, inserting online pictures, inserting shapes, icons, 3D models, smartart, or screenshots. So if we come to pictures, you will get a little dialog box showing you your folders, so you can select the image that you want to insert. So for example, if I want to put in my logo, we can then size it appropriately. Now some of the options you have when you insert any object, if we go and right click and click Format Picture, one of the useful options here in the Size and Properties box is whether you move and size with your cells or not. So for example, at the moment I have move but don't size with cells. Now what that means is if I widen my column out, it will move it with the column it's in, but what it won't do is resize my object. If I then change that and say move and size with cells, if I expand this column H, you'll notice that my image gets stretched. Equally, it's starting in cell 1. If I stretch that down, it will size it with my row. Undoing that. The last option is don't move or size with cells. So if we click on that, we can basically insert as many cells as we want and change our width and height as much as we want, and our object will just stay as it is. So another option is to look at online pictures. So we click in here and say we want a picture of a file. It will come up with a number of options. We can select one, say we want this one here, and click Insert. What it will do is we'll put that picture in with a copyright on it. Now obviously this has come in very, very large. We'll just zoom out slightly there. Now I'm just going to group these two together. And I'm going to resize my image down to the size I actually want. Now you'll notice that as I resized it there, it got slightly flattened. So if we undo that, what you can do is you can click on Lock Aspect Ratio and it will maintain the dimensions of your image. This is the same as you might do if you're working with objects in Word. So we can reduce that down. Another option is to insert shapes, and there are a range of shapes that Microsoft might suggest. So if we put in a rectangle, for example, what it will do is when you put in your shape, it will open up this Format tab and you can adjust it, variety of different cuts, selecting your shape fill, the outline, any particular effects you might want on it. And you can add text by right clicking and hitting Edit Text. You'll see you'll get your little cursor in here and you can type in your text. Once you've got text in it, you can play around with your text effects or change the sizing of it by selecting your box and then adjusting in your Home tab. In a similar manner, you can insert icons. So we could look for email. You get a load of little email symbols, or a telephone, lots of little telephone symbols. Whatever you think you might like, you'll probably be able to find it in here. You can also search by category. So if we come out of that, we can search, say, by business, and it's got lots of little business icons that you might find useful for your workbook. For 3D models, you can input these from a file. It's not an option I use very often, and I'm not going to dwell on it here. If you've taken a screenshot, you can insert it using the screenshot button. And finally, you can also insert smartart. Now you might be familiar with these from Word. There are a number of smartart graphics. So for example, you might want to put in a process along the top of your workbook, and we can insert that. And in a similar way to when we inserted the shapes, you get this design box at the top as well as a format one. And here you can change the style and the color of your smartart box, similar to how you might do in Word if you're familiar with playing with these in Word. If we click this little side arrow, you can input your text here, or you can click directly into your shapes and amend your text. So that's just a brief introduction to inputting illustrations, pictures, shapes, and smartart into your Excel worksheet. If there's anything in particular that you'd like more detail on, do let me know in a comment. I do hope you found this useful. Please like and subscribe, and I do look forward to seeing you on my next video.